My roommate Derek says we should just tell people we have a chicken. Technically, we do have a chicken. That part is accurate. What's less accurate is the implication that our chicken is in any way a normal chicken. Normal chickens do not glow faintly white in the dark. Normal chickens do not drop feathers that are perfectly square at the edges. Normal chickens do not walk into a room and make everyone feel like they're inside a very peaceful video game. Her name is Clucky. She didn't choose it. Derek chose it at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday while still half asleep, and it stuck immediately, and now it's the only name that has ever made sense for her. She's a Minecraft chicken. An actual, physical, three-dimensional Minecraft chicken, living in our apartment in Columbus, Ohio, eating seeds from Derek's palm and occasionally laying eggs that are perfectly smooth and slightly luminescent, and that neither of us has been brave enough to crack open yet. There are 4 of them in a bowl on the kitchen counter. We should probably talk about how we got here. It was a Sunday in mid-September when my friend Derek and I went hiking at Hocking Hills State Park, about an hour southeast of Columbus. Real wilderness this time. Sandstone gorges, old-growth forest, the kind of place that feels like it exists outside of regular time. We'd been planning the trip for months. We had good boots and bad sandwiches, and a thermos of coffee that Derek had made too strong as always. We were deep into the old-growth section, maybe 5 miles from the trailhead, when Derek stopped walking. He stopped the way you stop when you see something that doesn't belong. Not gradually, not with a stumble, but completely. 1 step, and then no more steps.
Whoa, sorry.
I walked into his back.
What are you looking at?
He pointed at something on the ground, about 15 feet off the trail,
Look.
in a small clearing between 3 massive old-growth trees. The afternoon light was coming through the canopy at a low angle, the kind of light that makes everything look slightly golden, slightly unreal.
There it is.
There
no
was
nest,
an egg
no
on
shelter,
the ground.
just the egg.
Not in a
and
nest,
the trees above,
not
nothing.
under a bush.
No birds, no activity.
Just sitting on the
Nothing
forest
under the
floor
roots
in the
either. It's just
clearing,
sitting here in the
in
light.
the direct path of that
Deliberate.
golden afternoon light, like it had been placed there to be
It's
found.
not normal white.
It was roughly the size of a
Look at that
softball,
color. It doesn't belong
pure
in the
white.
forest.
Not the off-white
No, it
of a
doesn't.
regular egg, but
Something's
a
off.
clean, flat, matte white, the white of fresh snow or blank paper.
Yeah,
And the
that's
shape was
off.
slightly wrong.
Like someone
not
described
dramatically.
An egg but never saw
It was
one.
still recognizably an egg shape. But the proportions were off somehow, slightly too wide, slightly too short, almost like someone had drawn an egg from memory without ever having seen one. There was no bird anywhere near it, no nest materials, no tracks, nothing.
Check the trees.
Derek said it looks like a Minecraft
Literally
egg.
nothing here.
I
Let me check one
laughed,
more
then
time.
I looked at it again
just the
and
egg.
stopped laughing. We both
just
crouched
room
down
temperature.
beside it. It was cool to the
Let me feel
touch, not cold, not
That's
warm,
weird.
just
Everything about this is
ambient.
weird. The ambient temperature
But
of
there
a
was
forest
something
egg
about the
being
white.
somehow the strangest detail.
In the golden afternoon light, it seemed to absorb the light
doesn't
rather than
reflect
reflect it,
anything.
the matte surface taking in the color
It's
of
like
the
it isn't
forest
made
and
of the
giving
same
nothing
stuff
back.
as everything else.
Derek picked it up with both hands. It was lighter than it
It's
had any
so
right to be. We looked at each
light.
other. We looked at the egg. We looked at each other
Wow,
again.
it is like it's hollow.
Derek put it in his jacket
Careful, it
pocket,
might float
which
away.
barely fit it. We hiked the 5 miles back to the car without talking much. The egg sat in the cup holder the whole drive home. Derek kept looking at it at red lights. For 4 days the egg sat on our kitchen windowsill and did nothing.
Time again?
We
The egg's
researched
still
it.
there, so pure.
We googled unusual white eggs Ohio forest and found nothing useful.
Fresh coffee for the morning.
Derek posted a photo to 3 different bird identification forums
He's
under a
carefully
fake
typing a
username.
post on a bird
2
forum.
people said it was probably a domestic
using a
chicken
fake
egg that
name.
had rolled from somewhere.
Why?
One person said it
don't
looked
want this
digitally
connected to us.
generated and asked if it was a prop. It was
This is
not a prop.
Tell him
On the 3rd day, Derek
physical
noticed it was
reality
slightly warmer than the air
undeniable
around it.
from every angle. The
Not
pure white
dramatically,
matte surface
just enough that when you held your
real.
hand near it, you could tell the difference. He
It's
told
definitely
me at
warmer.
dinner.
Yeah, it is.
We both went and held our
And
hands
was
near it for a
ambient
while
2
without
days
saying
ago.
anything.
I know. It's incredible.
On the 4th night, I woke up at 2
is
a.m.
that,
to a sound
clucking
I can
at
only
2
describe
a.m.?
as clucking,
It's coming from the
soft,
kitchen.
exploratory
This
clucking,
is so wrong
like a
for
question being
Columbus.
asked repeatedly in a language I almost understood. I was in the kitchen in 30 seconds. The egg was rocking. It hatched over about 10 minutes. No dramatic cracking, no explosion of
The
shell.
shell is coming apart
Just a
piece
steady,
by
patient
piece.
process of the
Each piece
shell
falls
coming apart
clean,
in
revealing
clean,
more
flat
of the light.
pieces,
A
each one
steady,
falling to the
patient
windowsill
process.
with a small sound,
Quiet
each one
inevitability.
perfectly flat on one side and curved on
Look
the
at these
other,
shell
like
pieces. They're
pieces
like
of a geometry problem.
What?
And
It's
when the
2 a.m.
last
What are you
piece
doing?
fell,
I'm serious. The curves, the angles,
she was
it's
small,
math. You're crazy.
the size of a
Alright,
large
show me.
hand, maybe slightly bigger, standing on the windowsill in the middle of the shell pieces and looking around the kitchen with quick, precise turns of her head. pure white feathers, flat and clean and slightly wrong in the way the egg had been wrong. The proportions off, the feathers
They're
too
like
regular,
a texture.
the whole bird slightly blocky in a way that made my brain try to render her in pixels. Her eyes were black, not dark brown, not very dark, black, the specific black of a void, the black of a screen that isn't on yet. And they caught the light wrong, or rather they didn't catch the light at all. They absorbed it.
Watch.
She looked at me with one eye, then rotated her head to look with the other. Then she clucked. One small, decisive cluck. I woke Derek up. He came to the kitchen in his socks, looked at her standing on the windowsill, and said, "Clucky," before I could say anything. She turned and looked at him with one eye. He reached out his hand, palm flat, the way you offer something to a bird. She stepped onto his palm. The first week was mostly about logistics. She didn't need much. Seeds were her primary interest, specifically wheat seeds, which we discovered when Derek absent-mindedly left a small bag of birdseed near her and she sorted through it with surgical precision, eating only the specific seeds she wanted and leaving the rest in a neat pile. She drank water from a small dish. She slept on a folded towel Derek put in a corner of the kitchen. She laid her first egg on day 3. It was sitting on the towel when we woke up, smooth and white and slightly luminescent, exactly the proportion of the egg we'd found in the forest. Derek picked it up and held it in both hands for a long time. Then he put it carefully in a bowl on the counter. She's laid 3 more since then. We haven't talked about what to do with them.
Now,
the bowl sits on the counter. We walk past it several times a day. Sometimes one of us picks up an egg and holds it for a moment.
An hour later, I found myself
we always
doing
put
the
it
same
back.
thing.
The feathers are the
Picking
other
up
thing.
the egg, holding
She
it,
sheds
then
them
putting it back.
occasionally, the way all birds do. And when a feather falls, it's immediately clear that something is different.
It's like one is drawn and
The
other
edges
is
are
real.
straight, not the
they are
soft,
both
irregular
real,
edges of a real
just in
feather,
different
but
ways.
clean, straight lines, like the feather was cut
Run
with
your
a
finger
ruler.
along it.
Derek picked one up on day 2 and held it in the light
edge
for a
is
long
as
time.
straight as a cut piece of paper.
He said it looks like a texture. He's right.
Observe these feathers
It looks
on the
exactly
counter.
like a
Each one
texture.
bears the same
The
distinct
2D
blocky
representation
texture.
of
This
a
is
feather
texture
applied to a
reality,
3D
merging the
object,
digital with the
made
physical. And
physically
here's
real
Clucky, the
somehow.
source, wandering the kitchen and eating
He has a
seeds.
collection of them in a jar on his desk. It's been 6 weeks. Clucky knows her name, or at least knows that the sound means her and comes toward it. She follows Derek specifically. He's the one who named her, he's the one who first held her, and she has not forgotten this. She follows him from room to room with the focused persistence of something that is decided on a person. She sits on his shoulder while he works. She clucks at him when he's been in a different room too long. She does not follow me with the same dedication, which I find mildly offensive, and Derek finds enormously amusing. She has laid 6 eggs total. They're all in the bowl. The bowl's getting full.
That's fine. I didn't want her to come anyway.